Hello. Welcome back to Of the Devil.
Hello.
I'm Talion. There's Luke.
Hello.
And we're here to continue the case. Yeah.
Case time.
Continue. We are about to start our whatchamacallit. We're talking to
Next
this
witness.
lady. Yes. Hi, Badman. Welcome to the stream. There she is. All right.
All right. Same voice distribution as last time, I assume.
Yeah. And hey, Bob.
All right. Helen Jung, Vice President of Android Futures at Noble Electronics Eastern Division. Ms. Jung, you were there the night Dr. Asher died. And you were on camera the entire time.
So if she is the murderer, I wonder if she deliberately stayed on camera just to give herself an alibi. Especially if the actual poisoning, was done earlier.
We know it was a time-delayed poison in the reception snacks, Helen. You can't get that past us. That's correct. So what did you see that night? I arrived at 7:30 p.m., as you know. David and I talked in the parlor, then he left to retrieve some refreshments for us. After drinking together for a short while, he fell ill. I contacted emergency services and I'm sure you're all tired of hearing the same details over and over by now.
Well, we have to hear them again, because what if your version is a little bit off? That's just how this works.
Contradictions.
The same details over and over aren't going to hold up anymore, Madame Veep. It's still unclear to me whether Young's more concerned with protecting herself or the almighty company. But it'll clear up real fast if I can turn up the pressure on her here and now. Alright. Journal. Oh, that very suspicious arbitration. And
yeah.
Flagging. Young's story.
Okay, so I do think the arbitration is the one that we're going to need at the right moment.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pivotal at some point. I don't know if it's...
Pivotable.
Pivotable, yes.
We can pivot this. Alright, yes, because
that corroborates.
We got that to say story. This is the plastic cups.
What do we know about the arbitration? Not a lot.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think that...
She controls...
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
Yeah. I feel like this is lining up to, like, set her up as the suspect, and we're gonna, like, build our case around that, and then have it overturned dramatically. That's what I'm expecting at this point.
Entirely possible. Like, I think at the very least, this is going to be, like, part of us building, like, a house of cards, so to speak.
I feel like this statement in particular is just too, like, obviously suspicious. She set up the meeting and controlled every aspect. She definitely could have put poison wherever she wanted.
Look, we are explicitly amoral in this version. We're just trying not to get arrested, because then DNA would match us to all those murders, and any projection onto Sarah is just, hearsay. Morgan doesn't relate to Sarah at all. She's doing this solely for her own self-interest, which means we can totally frame an innocent woman who's unrelated to our whole deal.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through the testimony first and just see what we've got to work with.
I came to David's at 7:30.
That is correct.
We chatted for a short while about some low-priority work, nothing heavy.
That's probably not relevant.
Before long, he offered to fetch us some refreshments.
That sounds right.
When he came back, we shared a drink together.
Correct.
At the time, I didn't notice anything strange.
Maybe not.
We were just
wait.
reminiscing.
Okay.
I didn't think his life was in danger. But then he became ill. So I ran to the kitchen to activate his emergency console and I did what I could up until he was gone.
So I think the contradiction is that they weren't just talking about something lighthearted. They were talking about the arbitration.
Yeah, no. She told us that straight up.
Exactly.
She was like, it was because I wanted to talk to him about the arbitration.
Yeah.
She's a liar, pants on fire.
Yep.
That's the technical legal term.
Yep. And what happened that day? I can't let her set the tone as she pleases.
Oh. Arbitration.
I'm always afraid I'm gonna accidentally click the wrong thing there. It's like on a timer and the UI is a little bit finicky. You have to get it just right.
Just right.
Nothing heavy. You're both more professional than I realized. Since only hours earlier, you had run a meeting in which his employment was terminated.
His employment wasn't terminated at the arbitration you're referring to. His resignation was merely agreed upon.
That's just semantics at that point.
Semantics!
Yes, and we can all imagine how grateful he felt about the whole process.
David didn't hold grudges. Our conversation wasn't about that.
You literally told us earlier that it was.
Yeah, you literally told us earlier.
The fact that you had fired him that afternoon didn't come up?
Asked and answered.
Who initiated the meeting at his penthouse?
I arrived unannounced.
So you weren't invited. Very cordial indeed.
If he didn't want to see me, he could have stopped me at the elevators.
Could he have? Noble owned that entire building, down to the wiring.
Yeah, we keep getting people talking to us in the elevators. It's weird. Counsel is badgering the witness, Your Honor.
Huh? Right, should we execute her for that then?
No need. If I can just continue my questioning, we can finally start addressing the elephant in the room.
Where? I see. That was merely a joke. Hilarious.
Ms Jung, Noble Electronics owns a patent for and produces the synthetic biochemical known as synatonin, correct? That's correct. It's used in our warm models to facilitate integration and communication between organic and synthetic components. It's an artificial neurotransmitter. Essentially, yes. Synthetic analog serotonin was the original name. Did you bring the sample I requested to the courtroom today? Is she gonna, drink it? I did. Synatonin is produced on-site at our assembly lines as a caramel-tinted solution, including water and a few non-reactive organic byproducts. Your analysis, Your Honor? Also, side note, the voices I chose for Emma and Helen, I'm like, oh, they feel so similar in my brain. I'm having trouble.
Yeah. Struggle.
The struggle.
Working on it. It's odorless and tasteless.
A solution of water and organic byproducts, you said. If that solution were ingested, most of it would look right at home in a human body. I suppose. But the synatonin would stand out, wouldn't you say? It's not a naturally occurring compound, so yes.
And it's a perfect match for the substance previously labeled Delta.
Previously labeled omega-3. And the sample we collected from the manufacturer preset in Dr. Asher's lab?
That's a bingo! The witness's brown stuff matches your brown stuff to a T.
In light of this evidence and the witness's testimony, I motion that the court formally recognizes that Dr. Asher's cause of death was synatonin poisoning. But I don't know if that could be. Morgan, no.
I don't object, Your Honor.
But I'm afraid that I must.
Yeah, she said that it was impossible.
Yeah, impossible. Excuse me?
Wow, even Emma didn't see this coming.
Synatonin may very well have been in his body when he died, but synatonin didn't kill Dr. Asher. Yeah, it's like, this is why when you put a witness on a stand, you know, you never know what they're going to say, Emma.
Yep.
What?
What the hell is she up to?
It couldn't have. It couldn't kill anybody. What? Because it's non-toxic, of course. We designed it to affect androids, not people.
Was this tested, though?
I mean, we do know about the blood transfusion, so...
That is true.
Hold on, you're now claiming that Dr. Asher died of what? Natural causes? I can't say what he died of. I'm not a medical expert. Or because that'd be admitting to murder. But I can easily prove that synatonin is harmless. Chug! Chug!
And I mean, that vial would be much more than anything he potentially ingested.
How could you... Like... So...
Love the dramatic red lighting. So good. Huh. Didn't see that one coming.
What?
Beautiful. What? That ain't good.
But bailiff, contact the hospital immediately. I told you it's fine.
But also just casually drink the evidence.
Yeah.
This is just totally normal.
Totally normal. I can stand here all day if necessary. What in the...
And what you just drank was...
Several hundred times the amount found in Dr. Asher's body. Why didn't you say anything until now?
Classic.
You just got Edgeworth, Emma. You're gonna have to dock her pay. Noble Electronics is a multinational corporation with patents filed all over the world. We take the protection of our trade secrets very seriously. The production and nature of synatonin is closely guarded. That guard remains up even during a murder investigation. Unfortunately. I would have been able to tell you earlier, had you asked directly. What the hell kind of... This can't be right. Nothing else makes sense. Emma's so tired.
Boy, howdy, I'm lost as hell. But do you have any further questions, Rockyford?
Not at the moment, Your Honor.
And the defense? The prosecution's own witness just threw the entire case into question. Normally, this would be cause for celebration, but shadow of a doubt isn't enough this time. Barrows would much rather bring down the gavel early than let a potential AI walk free. What Jung did was shocking, but what I mean to do hasn't changed. Think this through, logically. Is it really possible that serotonin had nothing to do with David's death? No, that's bullshit. It can't be a coincidence. There's nothing else that would have killed him. But Jung just drank serotonin in front of us and she's fine. So was it fake? Is it like... I think you actually brought up last time that maybe it was something reacting with alcohol.
Yeah, it's like... My thought process is there was some different chemical that essentially dissolved into ordinary byproducts and serotonin. The serotonin was the end result of the poison, not the poison when it was poisonous.
No, it was confirmed by the court computer to be the genuine article. So she drank poison, but isn't showing any symptoms. Is it slow acting? If so, her grand gesture would be pointless. Should be kept for observation regardless of what happens next. Did she take some kind of antidote beforehand?
Yeah, if it was something where alcohols and serotonin together do something that they wouldn't alone, then she's just like, I'll be fine as long as I don't drink alcohol.
No, antidotes are different poisons, not industrial chemicals. David's dead. She's alive. What made the difference?
Yeah, then I guess it might be the alcohol.
Wake up! No sleeping on the job. Unless you're me. Of course, Your Honor. Allow me one moment to explain things to the court. Uh-oh, YouTube is saying error.
I noticed your stream on my end is a little bit slow, but I don't know if it's slow for people who are on YouTube.
Well, hopefully it resolves. OBS isn't saying anything. Let's give it a second. The stream died a moment, but it's back. Okay. All right. Let's hope it continues to work. We've confirmed just now that serotonin was the foreign compound in his body. And we all know, logically, that it must have been what killed David Asher. Yeah, I definitely think we're going for the alcohol
interaction.
So what's the key difference between what David drank that night and what she drank in front of us just now?
It is the whiskey.
Nice. Oh my god. The difference has been staring us in the face this whole time.
That's...
Look at us back up in the 60s. We're doing so good.
Yeah, so Helen, chug this whiskey in front of the court. Do it!
Oh gosh. Do you recognize this, Ms Jung?
That's the whiskey bottle that Dr. Asher and I drank from.
Rose River. It's a good whiskey. And I think you had the right idea.
Pardon?
Bottoms up. Just casually drinking in the middle of court. Smooth.
What? Adonai.
Dear God, counselor. This is scandalous. Relax. It's just whiskey. tested a dozen times over. Perfectly safe. So would you like to try some, Ms. Jung?
Don't be absurd. I'm not going to drink on the witness stand. Have you lost your mind?
I'm not asking you to get plastered. Just have a sip. After all, if we want to prove whether or not serotonin killed Dr. Asher, we have to recreate the conditions under which he ingested it. By mixing it with alcohol.
Oh, he got the original serotonin poisoning at the reception, and then they needed to make sure he was drinking so that it killed him.
Yep. Go ahead then. Just a taste. I feel like you should not be encouraging this, even like as a ploy.
Well, I personally feel like if I were her, I'd just be like, I'd just be like, pretend to take a swig and be like, there, I definitely drank some. It might be too risky.
Prove to us that serotonin is perfectly safe for human consumption.
Is this... Can she do this?
Like, she's literally trying to ask you to poison yourself. Ms. Jung.
I never said it was safe for human consumption.
Just that it won't kill you. Probably.
Just that it's non-toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
A distinction without a difference. You saw firsthand Dr. Asher confused, slurring his speech, complaining of headache. All symptoms of poisoning. Alcohol poisoning, that is.
Huh?
Serotonin is a neurotransmitter analog. Maybe it doesn't do anything in the human body on its own, but in combination with alcohol, it acts as a powerful depressant. Not strong enough to turn a glass or two of whiskey into a lethal overdose.
That's just... Even if that is the case, what does it change?
It changes whether or not we can accept the witness's testimony.
Even if this witness is a liar, what does that change?
The whole conditions of the poisoning! Why would the witness lie if not to...
She's a corporate climber. I imagine it's like breathing for her.
Wow! Just casually roasting the witness. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Edgeworth way.
Brutal!
The Edgeworth way.
Oh my god, Emma. She does not hold back. Your Honor, this is wild. But ultimately irrelevant. Irrelevant? You've yet to establish an alternative interpretation of the facts, yes.
What are you even accusing the witness of doing, Counselor, beyond angling for a promotion? We've all seen the story by now. Noble android saves soldier's life with warm blood transfusion. They're talking about putting warm androids in the military just because of that headline. With the size of their flesh and blood price tag, a defense contract like that would secure Noble untold profits for years. So imagine the lengths they'd go to hide the fact that their androids have poison in their veins.
Prince told me the truth about what Noble really thinks of that article, but he'd never testify to it. At least I know for sure that Emma's wrong about this poisoned blood nonsense. You think she'd perjure herself just for that?
She's a high-powered corporate executive. It's her job to assess risk versus reward. And she can afford the fine. As I said, it's not truly poisonous. And the chances of cross-contamination from a simple plasma transfusion are...
Damn, if she's regaining her composure, too.
A perjury charge is a real risk, of course, but Noble rewards loyalty. And as you know, they have a great number of lawyers. Plenty of motive to lie about serotonin, as you can see. But no motive for her to cover up the death of Noble Electronics' Golden Goose.
No motive to kill David Usher, you say?
Okay, there we go. Because the contract... Hang on, I don't know if it's the contract. The thing that...
Don't drink it!
Don't drink it. So the thing that gets me with the no motive thing is they do have a motive. Well, okay. What's the phrase? No, I do need to remember this. This is very specific. Because David's contract had things for what would happen to the patents.
Let's quick look at this. Okay, yeah. Nothing new. But yeah, I think it's probably the contract.
Yeah, there we go. Because David would keep ownership of his patents if terminated. He couldn't be terminated without serious cause. Now, the weird thing is he agreed to resign.
Yeah.
Yes. He agreed to resign. But I think it's possible the poisoning was set into motion before they knew he would agree to it. I think that their motive was a little extreme, but, you know, high-powered company.
I wonder if there was still any chance of him, like, backing out of that agreement or something, and they wanted to make sure...
Yeah, it's possible. He agreed to resign, but, like, that's a little ways in the future. So... there was a chance he would back out. I think that might be the motive, but look through the other ones.
We have journal, contract, texts, and serotonin. I feel like the serotonin is obviously irrelevant. Like, that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I think it has to be, because the contract is the motive one.
Yeah.
This is the thing...
This seems totally irrelevant as well. Like, that's not conversation.
I think we would have to argue that they wanted Sarah specifically, and they've kind of been stonewalling us about, we don't care about Sarah, it doesn't matter how valuable she could be. She's a walking liability. So I think it's got to be the contract, especially since this happened, you know, last session, but Porter brought it up. Like, this is what happens to their patents, and it's like, yeah, so he's dead now.
Confident about this one, but honestly, we're swimming in credits. Maybe we can risk it.
We have so many credits.
Alright, I'm going for it.
Yeah, and it's been changed to include the...
There's plenty of motivation for her and Noble to want David dead. Seeing as they were firing him. There we go.
Okay, so we're slightly misleading them.
Noble Electronics was kicking their golden goose out of the nest. Suing him over breach of contract.
Whatever that means.
Isn't that right?
I don't have to talk about that.
That's alright. I'll talk about it for you.
Your Honor, Counselor is trying to testify when they're supposed to be questioning.
The people opened the door when they claimed that the witness had no motive.
This is absurd. You have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like her face is in the background. She's there.
Like, stare.
Sure, I can speak for the whole court when I say we feel nothing but reverent awe for the complexity of Noble's legal woes. But I just so happen to have an inkling of insight into this issue. Because I have here a copy of Dr. Asher's employment contract.
That is confidential. It's completely improper for you.
Why? I'm still, technically, his attorney.
Criminal attorney.
But I didn't just stumble across this document. I also did the one thing Noble Electronics would never expect anyone to do. Read it? Yeah.
Yeah, I read it.
I read their terms and conditions.
Nobody
so
reads the
proud about
terms
that,
and
too.
conditions. You what?
She's genuinely shocked. That's impossible. No one could ever. David must have negotiated well at his last performance review. His contract allows him to take his patents with him should he get fired. Kit, welcome! It has been 10,000 years since you've been on here. Hope you've been doing well. I don't know if you've been keeping up with any of the past videos on this game, but it's been a wild ride to get here. We're having a good time.
Twists and turns.
Mm-hmm. We're ace attorneying it up.
Ace attorney.
Meaning Noble couldn't monopolize his IP once he was out. Rather than let their competitors have him, the company might have thought it best to...
A company didn't poison David Asher, Counselor. An individual did. Corporations aren't people when it comes to murder charges. And if they cared that much about controlling his intellectual property, they wouldn't fire him in the first place.
Correct. They wouldn't let him go for anything less than a complete breakdown of trust. You'd have to have done something grave. Something like, say, committing fraud. Been super, super busy. Yeah, I get that. Life happens. Just now you said there was a breach of contract. Like it was some kind of technicality that was causing this split. But it was much more serious than that, wasn't it?
You're claiming the victim committed corporate fraud? Where's the evidence of that?
Oh, Emma. Oh, Emma.
Is somebody unprepared for trial, Emma?
No idea.
You have no idea, Emma. But we can't come out and say 300 illegal AIs. Like, I know we have an audio bit that would make a hell of a soundbite to be like, yeah, I made a ton of illegal AIs, but Sarah isn't one of them, which would be like kind of a mic drop, but I'm not sure if it would work.
Like the art style so far, yeah, this game has a very unique look. It's very bold. I like it. David created the Turing solution that every one of their androids has run on to this day. And Noble reaped enormous profits capitalizing on his intellectual property. With how his contract was set up, they would never let him go unless they absolutely had to.
Then what exactly did you think David Asher did?
Oh boy.
That is a real question.
That matters. Only what the company fears.
Okay, so what are we using as evidence of this? Okay.
This is something
that one
possible.
Yeah. That one feels the most damning because like we don't want to bring Sarah into
I don't think this is
again.
the real answer, but this is a plausible bluff. I feel like
once again, I think 300 illegal AI. One, I don't think Noble knows about that.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to come out at some point, but yeah, it's I think too early.
that's when it's going to be really helpful to have the soundbite. Sarah is not an AI. David Asher, said this. Yep. And then we cut it at the appropriate moment where he's like, she's something more and different. We just cut at... They don't need to hear that. They don't need to hear that.
She needs sleep. Yeah, I think Emma does not sleep.
She's got a real L Death Note vibe.
For sure.
So that one actually seems the most
this does seem plausible.
Likely to me. Because that's weird. Like, Sarah does not make sense to bring up.
Like, she's a weird thing, but she's not necessarily evidence of fraud.
Here's the only thing that I could think would put Sarah as that card is
if we're saying that, like, well, I guess we could argue that she's an AI, and therefore he's been, like, dabbling in illegal AI, but that would kind of go against her entire case.
Yeah, we call this the reverse prisoner's dilemma, where every choice you make screws you over. No, because the thing that I think could be linking Sarah is that David was a programmer and not an engineer. And so the fact that, like, hey, where do you get this android, could suggest that he was colluding with someone outside the company to make her.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm not sure that is the correct angle, but I think that could have something to do with it.
Yeah. This seems unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think so, no.
Have anything linking that to anything. That also seems irrelevant.
Did they know David had the manufacturer? Because it was like...
I don't know.
He purchased it himself.
Yeah.
Because he was rich. But I don't know if it would be a problem from Noble's perspective for him to have it.
My guess would definitely be the shipping data.
It feels the least explained so far.
I'm not too confident about that. I don't know if I still want to go max. You know what? We've been going max this entire time. Let's...
High roller!
I think I'm just gonna keep doing that until we get to one that I'm, like, really just taking a wild guess on.
Really scared on.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think for now we can keep going max. Doesn't matter what I believe. Not when Noble believed that David was misleading the shareholders. By altering shipment data for the Animate 16.
What the hell?
Killed for screwing with the ERP system. It was Dawes!
Dawes! He's like... They always underestimate me. I've poisoned all of our CEOs and I'm just waiting for the right chance to pull the trigger. What is this you're uploading? Shipping records?
Irregularities among shipments of the Animate 16. One android swapped in for another, over and over, dozens of times. The kind of thing someone with Dr. Asher's authority could do. And the kind of thing someone as smart as you couldn't have missed. But the question is, was that actually David or was it her? Because they're kind of our two main suspects for that.
Because she's detail-oriented, but that could mean that she's the one who caught him doing the thing.
Yeah. Dr. Asher made Noble an untold amount of money. So why fire him over a few harmless swaps? Why elevate this to fraud?
You have evidence that it was David Asher who did this?
Nope. I wasn't the one who investigated it. So let's ask her. I know nothing and may need to catch up if I have the time, but I'm here to vibe. I would definitely recommend going back and seeing the earlier stuff. I'm going to try not to say spoilery stuff unless it, like, comes up, but, you know, if it comes up, then obviously it's fair game.
Yeah, there's sort of a point where some of them are too big to avoid.
For sure. Like, for now, we're not getting into, like, the real spicy stuff, but I expect it to be, like, like episode 0, where like after the trial, shit gets real. So I do expect it to come up.
Yeah.
But maybe not during the trial itself.
Probably fine for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if Morgan talks about why she needs to not get arrested.
Come on now, let's hear it. Let's.
The company investigated and found cause for serious concern. We suspected that Dr. Asher was inserting androids of unknown origin and quality into the 16th product line. So I think he was shoving his AIs into bodies and like setting them free.
Yep.
Which is also something they would have fired him for, but they didn't know about that detail.
They didn't know the full extent of it.
They're like, what the fuck? Introducing unpredictable elements in an extremely stable and profitable generation of androids.
Oh, they have no idea.
I mean, alternately, they might have an idea, actually.
What?
Unpredictable elements could be corporate speak for very, very illegal AI.
Yep. There's a real chance you managed to finish the game in stream, yeah. I was wondering if we would finish the game this week, but we'll see.
For the chapters
we're
chapter 0 and 1.
To get into the spicy bits of this
the twists
case,
and turns.
I cannot wait for us to reveal the AI shit. Although, is there a chance that we actually manage to cover it up and don't reveal it all in the case? I feel like generally in Ace Attorney kind of stuff, you have to bring it all to the surface, but we'll see.
There's also, like, long arcs, you know? It's like, if this is all tying together into something bigger, they could be holding off.
So the interesting thing is that from at least the game's kind of marketing, it describes itself as being very episodic, which seems really surprising to me, given that there clearly is this big overarching storyline. So we'll see how that shakes out. I'm looking forward to finding out.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
For pride? As a practical joke?
I feel like that's a lie. I think she has at least some inkling
she has an idea
of what he was doing. But she's just like, she cannot say it.
We might have, Sarah, I need you to take this audio file of David's and clip it in the most flattering way possible. Does it really matter? He endangered the future of the company.
So you prepared to fire him?
Yes. I approached him as his superior and someone he'd once worked with. I hoped to remedy the situation.
Was the meeting on Friday part of those efforts?
It was the culmination of those efforts. And in many ways, it was a success. The dispute was resolved swiftly. It was practically friendly compared to how these discussions normally go in our world. We didn't even have to kill him, that was just an accident.
So you brokered the meeting?
Yes.
You oversaw its every detail? Handled all the arrangements?
Okay, so Kit, you're correct about the Ace Attorney of it, but I'm going to point out it would be very bad for our case. Some context here, the thing we are explicitly trying to prove is that the girl standing next to us did not murder this guy, because if she murdered this guy, she's a robot, and that proves she's a super duper illegal AI and has to get thrown in an incinerator. So, like, it maybe is easier if we just don't tell people about the other AI.
Yeah, so basically he's made, like, hundreds of other illegal AIs, and we currently don't know what happened to them. We're theorizing that he put them into these androids and set them free, but we don't actually know.
We don't
Sarah,
know.
our defendant,
think one of them became
Maya.
a cop.
Yeah. is explicitly not one of the illegal AIs, but she is her own brand of strange, one-of-a-kind technology.
She's a robot girl, but she's real. But yeah, and so then the illegal AIs mostly have specific names, and there's a cop who has a similar name, and I'm like, I'm looking at you, cop. I'm looking at you in the eyes.
Do they know she's an AI or no? So there's like a distinction between like true artificial intelligences and like regular androids. So she was like introduced as a regular android, but the prosecution is trying to argue that she's an illegal murderous AI.
Yeah, because only an AI could have murdered a person.
Yes, because regular androids like can't harm humans.
They have laws of robotics, but more.
Yeah.
And so, like, the whole point of this case is to be like, the judge lady was like, you have to prove definitively by the end of the day whether or not she is. Like, both of you have to make sure that there is no doubt.
Yep. Metal detector.
So yes, the metal detector. Yeah. It's not.
Although to be fair, she's a warm android, so she has like biological parts, but she is part metal also.
She has Danganronpa blood.
She does. Including the refreshments. We're going for it.
Perfect delivery. What?
Did you provide coffee? Tea? Yeah, like, not quite a cyborg. I think, when I think cyborg, at least, I think, like, a modified human. Whereas she's, like, a fully artificial creation.
Yeah.
That's, like, part...
It's, like, basically manufactured human parts turned into like a person-shaped robot. Yes, grown like rock candy. No.
We have evidence that disproves that. Strange. It must have been a long meeting. Surely you at least provided water.
Water?
Jelly donuts. I want to say jelly donuts so bad.
Don't actually do it. We're doing so well, but yes, jelly donuts is...
Yeah, I'm gonna say water.
Yes.
Inhalers is also an interesting option.
Well, because, yeah, they got their stimulants.
Yeah, exactly. Surely you at least provided water for people.
What are you asking, counselor?
That's what I want to know. Me as well. Just has to interject every once in a while.
Judge Barrows is like, I was gonna do a lot of knitting, and there's too much going on, I can't.
We're past the point of asking. Brock's favorite food, yeah. I'm accusing. Oh wow. Just straight up.
Yep.
Dr. Asher didn't have some kind of freak medical accident, and he wasn't killed by some terrifying two-faced AI boogeyman. Not you, Sarah.
I only have one face, Adonai.
He was poisoned by this woman in the light of day at that meeting Friday afternoon. She really
What do you mean, poisoned at the meeting? That was hours before he showed any symptoms.
Girl, you are smarter than that. We already proved. Are you serious? Yeah.
Speaking in a vague way, for those in the stream, when she showed up last case, she had, like, everything clogged.
Yeah.
She was like one glance at the crime scene footage, and she was like, I know exactly what went down.
She cracked that open, yeah. Emma needs sleep, she does. I mean, she needed sleep last time too, but I think maybe it's wearing on her. As Ms Jung testified and demonstrated, serotonin on its own is harmless. I do wonder how long it actually like stays in the system after you've ingested it, but
yeah,
like in theory,
which is why she had to show up to make sure he drank stuff.
It becomes fatal pretty easily. Just need to convince your victim to have a drink.
You're saying he ingested the poison at noon, and inadvertently triggered a fatal reaction with it that night?
Yep.
How could you... How could you get so far ahead of yourself? There were a dozen people at that meeting, Counselor. None of them wound up dead.
I mean, we don't know exactly what happened. She could have potentially given the poison just to him, but...
What if it was in his cup,
yeah.
Emma? That's what this whole case has been about.
The mysterious water cup. Though I don't know why that cup would have ended up
did she, like, bring it with her just to make sure?
Why would it end up... why would it end up in his kitchen? That would be very mysterious.
And I do think...
This is super suspicious. Why is it still here? We still haven't used it.
It is weird. I do think no trace of any poison would be a little weird since they were currently counting serotonin as a poison.
It was in the sink. She could have washed it.
She could have... That's true. She could have washed it.
I don't know. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't imagine it could be the same water glass as from the meeting. Because that doesn't make any sense. But I'm just so baffled by why it's even here. What is the meaning of the water glass? It's been bothering me this entire case.
The mystery.
Oh, look at us. We're almost at 100 credits.
We're rolling in cash. We got this.
Yeah, we do got this. Alright.
Are you seriously claiming that they all drank poisoned water?
The other possibility is that the others just didn't drink alcohol.
Don't drink the water.
I feel like that would be... That's also
They're corporate executives.
Yeah,
they drank
That's also a possibility, that they just knew not to drink it. If everyone was in on it.
It was a conspiracy. But here's the thing that I do think. I think there's a chance that we get away with this by not fully holding people accountable, because there was that whole conversation with we're in a corporate dystopian hellscape, you know. This is late stage capitalism. And Dawes, when he was talking to us, he said, you know, if you want to go up against someone like Noble, you have to make them think you're fighting for them. Mm-hmm. Which we did sort of take, you know, by asking them to gamble, but I think there's a chance that we make the position so untenable for Noble that they just cut off Jung as the scapegoat. She did it all on her own. We had no idea. We certainly didn't conspire with her or order her to do it. So there's a decent chance she wasn't the actual mastermind, but the real mastermind gets away with it.
Yeah.
So what are the options if we say, I don't think so?
I would say probably not. Like, okay, there is a chance that they all drank the serotonin, but then they just didn't drink alcohol. In that case, they probably would have all been in on it. Because, like, I don't think they would have taken the risk of having everyone drink it and then maybe accidentally poison a whole bunch of people. So if this is the case, they probably all knew to avoid alcohol. Yeah.
Can we just look at the picture of the meeting? Because we
don't really have a good view of it. I know the full picture had like other people in the background, but I mean, she was drinking something clearly, or at least pretending to. She was holding a cup. Yeah. Although, okay, so wait, she drank supposedly. Yeah. In the evening. Mm-hmm. Where's her cup? Young's cup.
Yeah, where's her cup?
A small amount of whiskey left in it. She could.
Yeah,
she could have poured out the rest, but it would have been on camera. So probably not.
Okay, hang on. This could be how the water glass ties into it, because I guess the big thing would be, let's ignore the rest of them. Let's ignore rest of the people at the meeting don't matter.
Oh, saliva and fingerprints match Helen Young. So presumably she drank from this cup.
Yeah, so if...
There is also the question of
if there was a way... It's basically like, was she able to not drink whiskey when she went over to David's? If so, she could have drank the Cinetonin, because we know she's willing to drink Cinetonin. She'll chug that stuff. She loves it. But if she had a way to disguise drinking it, then we know that she just drank it also. So I think it might have to do with the water glass. Because she said she got a glass of water, like, as everything was going down, because she was like, there was too much going on. I was so confused. So the water glass is still... Oh, wait, whiskey spill. Whiskey spill.
Any more details of... I was hoping it would say something about the water glass. But
yeah, whiskey spill. Hang on, look at that. Whiskey spill. Whiskey found spilled on the dining room table.
You're after saying that she spilled out her...
Yeah, if she just didn't drink the whiskey, if she spilled it on the dining table,
okay,
then she could have just drank the poison and known that she was just gonna look like she was drinking whiskey. So
again, if she spilled her own drink, it would have been caught on camera. We would have seen her doing that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely go back to the camera footage again.
Do we have the camera footage, or do we just...
Or whatever... Yeah, I guess do we have the camera footage?
I don't
Remained on camera.
Yeah,
continued speaking while they both drank from the plastic cups David Asher brought up with him.
Okay, yeah, I think this means if it's corroborated by the footage that we actually have her on camera drinking.
But we don't have an explanation for the whiskey spill or the water glass.
I mean, I think the implication was that he knocked over his cup, because we saw that his cup was tipped over. Where is it?
Jung's area, David's cup.
So this is where the whiskey spill was. This is presumably like he drank part of it and then he knocked it over and the rest spilled on the...
Okay, fair.
So that's probably from his whiskey.
Yeah, but we still have this question of what's up with this water glass.
Yeah. Super weird.
I mean, if we go stay, then it might well be the thing, because the reason, like, the whole reason this murder case is even a murder case is because we have the idea of the poison could have been in the cup when it was given to him. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to poison the whiskey, you just need to poison the cup. And we had that whole thing where Emma just kept docking our credits, where she was like, it would have been easy to poison the cup and hand it off to David and know which one he'd drink from. So, like, couldn't you do the same logic here? They didn't need to drink all the poison. They just need to make sure that David drinks from the poison cup.
Yeah.
So it
that, like,
might
at the meeting, they only gave the poison to David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she handled everything.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Alright. Let's do it.
Gambling time.
David was the only one to fall ill, so... that's not a good...
Come on!
That's not a good explanation.
The one time!
But he fell ill because he drank from that water. Others must have drunk it too, so... So we must reason that they were poisoned as well.
Take all the time you need getting there. So why aren't they all dead?
Because as all those people will surely attest, Helen Jung made sure that they did paperwork for the next 12 hours.
That was the thing she brought up.
Yeah, I did forget about that. So she made sure that they wouldn't be drinking.
Legal hated me because I made them work for 12 hours after that overtime, getting all the details. Oh, no, that is good.
I mean, they still could have potentially, I guess,
they
been drinking on the job.
We need to drink to get through this. I mean, the corporate culture, though, the thing the specific vice they encourage in their
they have their inhalers.
Workers is the stimulant inhaler.
And
no
you don't deduction
you
yet.
Don't
we'll see if they throw something at us. But yeah, the only question left is Helen herself then. But I guess maybe she just didn't drink the water because she knew it was poison.
Yeah, I mean that could be what the water glass has to do with things. She was thirsty because she didn't drink the water. That's what we're going to use it to prove. The only reason you would have needed to drink the water was if you were thirsty. But yeah, what's it? The stimulant inhalers, you don't mix a stimulant and a depressant. So if they're all on the inhalers, they wouldn't be drinking.
That's a good point. All right. I forget if I read this line, so I'll just read it again, I guess. Because as all those people will surely attest, Helen Jung made sure they'd be doing paperwork for the next 12 hours. Working late into the night, officiating the settlement she arranged, and not drinking alcohol. Then, since it's a call instead of a raise, you just missed getting credits instead of losing credit. Okay, I guess that makes some sense.
That's a good point. That is how gambling works. She had no guarantee about that. What if they started drinking after 6?
They were still on the clock. With Noble's work-life harmony? That chance. These people don't clock out until they'd reach their bunk. Only a generational talent like David Asher could afford to relax with a drink on a Friday night. His exceptionalism singled him out as her only victim.
Hold it. You're forgetting something pretty basic, counselor. If everyone at the meeting drank water from the same pitcher.
Yep. What about her?
Any one of them would have noticed if there was serotonin in it. No.
How?
Well, okay, the color is the one thing. But it is tasteless and odorless.
It was kind of implied that it was in a pretty low concentration, though.
Yeah,
although, I don't know.
Low concentration.
It was diluted enough. And also, depending on the lighting, maybe it was in like a different colored pitcher, or maybe the lighting
everything
in the room
orange.
was like, poop water.
Serotonin is a brown fluid. Whiskey is too, so it would be easy to slip it into a glass of liquor. But if she had spiked the water at the meeting with it, it would have looked disgusting. There's no way she could have poisoned the water without people noticing.
All of what Emma said is true. And yet Young pulled it off anyway. How?
Okay, what do we got here? Nanites. Okay. Pigment. Okay, the pigment.
So if it turns
red, that could be
pink,
it.
Then maybe it could.
We haven't used the chromafuge yet.
Yeah.
It could well be that.
That sounds like a reasonable explanation.
What's the last one?
Let's take a look at chromafuge.
Yeah. So it looks like pink lemonade.
That would make sense. Alright.
Like, hang on, can you look at the manufacturer one? Or the last, just on the card. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was the lab manufacturer. I think it's gotta be the chromafuge.
Yeah. Makes sense. Serotonin is produced as a caramel solution. Anyone would notice if it was dropped into their water. Unless the pigment had been removed.
Because they talked about the pigment is like marketing
over 100.
Shit. Yeah! What the hell are you talking about?
Emma is so off her game today.
She's so off her
game.
Holy
shit. She just doesn't know anything.
Come on, Emma.
Every noble factory producing warm androids has a chromafuge. A machine that gives their androids that signature pink oxidant. by removing pigment from red blood. With a machine like that, it would be simple for a brilliant biochemist like the witness to take the caramel-colored serotonin and turn it into an odorless, tasteless, invisible poison. As Your Honor can attest. Yes, ma'am. My scan confirmed that serotonin has no taste or odor. It's only the color that's off-putting.
Surely the poisoned aspect should be considered off-putting as well.
Poor Sarah really hasn't had much of a chance to talk in this.
She's the Maya Fey. She's got to be silent. Like, she also, if she says too much,
that's true.
She's gonna give away that she's a real girl. Yeah. Am I still supposed to say affirmative?
Time to press. David Asher, your oldest ally in the whole company, was sabotaging its future for the sake of his own whimsy. And he couldn't even be bothered to clue you in.
No!
Emma was on point last case because she's obsessed over Heartbreak Killer for at least 40 hours. On this case has a wild card called Young drinking poison on stand. That is a point. I feel like there's just so much evidence that we have that she's just totally unaware of. Like, she could have at least learned about the chromafuge.
She could have learned about the chromafuge. We do know that Noble was kind of stonewalling the cops, though.
True. We did kind of girl boss our way in.
Yeah. We're gonna bully and badger people until we win.
Yep. Playing nutty professor and taking off early while you had to work around the clock just to stay relevant. Seems Emma thought this was a way simpler case than it ended up being. That's very true. Like, on the surface, this looks like a pretty simple case. You would think that someone like Emma can kind of tell when there's more to something than meets the eye.
The last one looks pretty open and shut, too.
Exactly.
She was like, nah. I've looked at the crime scene photo, that's all I need.
It's anti-android prejudice. And that's what it is.
Yeah. It might also be that, like, she didn't really have a choice about pressing this case in specific. It was like, it was going to be charging David for suicide, and then it was like, what the fuck? There's an AI involved. And then the judge was like, Emma, you need to do this by tomorrow.
Yep.
So, still, come on, Emma. Get good.
You set up your crowning achievement. The most advanced, most profitable line of androids the country has ever seen. So it would blow up into the industry fiasco of the decade. And worst of all, you didn't even stand to profit from it.
You're wrong.
You went to his house that night to watch him swallow poison. Get revenge on the man who left you in the dust.
Your Honor, defense is testifying. This speculation carries no weight. And no amount of badgering will lend it any.
True. We need proof. So why don't we have Ms. Jung take a swig of this whiskey and prove me wrong?
And then, like, she does and immediately dies. And Morgan's like, huh. Huh. I'm not going to do that.
Because you're afraid it could kill you?
Because I don't have to. She's right, Counselor.
Pardon?
Your theory is compelling, maybe even convincing. But there's a pretty fatal flaw to it.
Are we finally getting into her drinking?
Jung was at that meeting, same as David. We can see she was drinking water with the rest of them. Okay, so she does have some pictures. And of course, we've seen many times now that she was on camera drinking whiskey with David that night. Having even finished most of her cup. So tell us, counselor, how is it that Ms Jung is still standing here and David Asher is dead?
Yeah, can't we taste the whiskey for poison? They have tested the whiskey, and they did not find any poison in it. The remains of whiskey in David's cup were too little for anything conclusive, but at this point, I think it's pretty convincing that, you know, he drank the Cinetonin during the meeting, and then it was an interaction with the whiskey that actually killed him.
Yeah. So we've got to figure out how to prove that she wasn't actually drinking the whiskey.
Proving exactly that she drank the Cinetonin as well, but she did not drink the whiskey, even though
and it's gonna be the water glass
supposedly somehow drinking the whiskey.
Yeah, it's gonna be the water glass somehow. I just don't know how.
Somehow, yeah.
If both of them had mixed alcohol with Cinetonin that night.
That is a damn good question. Shit.
As I've been saying, you're wrong about Dr. Asher's death. You're wrong about me. I don't know anything about poison or murder. And I wouldn't kill a man because he threatened the company's stock price.
She might know more, though. No. She did kill him. I can smell it on her now. She didn't just see him die. She watched him die. But then, why is she still standing? There's no antidote, no trick. And that night, she was on camera the entire time. No, not the entire time. She couldn't have been. There must have been one moment. Was she off camera when she went to the sink?
When she... Yeah, let's see this.
They drank and discussed. Passed out of poison. Chatted in the kitchen parlor.
Yeah, so was the emergency console on camera is the question.
Do we have details about what is or isn't on camera?
Wait, hang on. Scroll up emergency console. We have
we
have emergency console as a... So...
kitchen. Okay, we don't...
Okay, then, yeah, we've got to find what they have about the surveillance, because I do know it was in the kitchen, which is where the water glass was. The water glass, which is going to be the key to this whole case. So if that was outside the range, penumbra, do we have evidence for penumbra? Because that would be where... No? Jeez.
A lot of evidence.
Well, at very least, the witness testimony, I think, might not have had the calling.
So this was definitely on camera.
Yeah.
This, I don't know.
So, if she was on the VTOL, that obviously wasn't
all of these were in, like, the same place.
Yeah.
Kitchen cover. So I feel like the odd one out has to be the one.
Basement footage. Wait. What's okay, yes. Felt lethargic. That's on camera. Remained on camera until 8:03 p.m. Were called from the console in the kitchen at 8:04 p.m. That is when she was off camera. If you scroll up, it specifically said she remained on camera until 8:03
Oh my
p.m.
God, that's such a good catch. Yes.
Yes. They were called at 8:04.
Remained on camera until 8:03 p.m. and she called at 8:04.
And then called at 8:04, which means she was...
Perfect.
If she called from the emergency console at 8:04 p.m., that it was after 8:03, and that means it wasn't Christmas yet. Sorry, I was torturing that reference there.
Wait, we have to... Oh, this is we have to put them
in order.
Okay.
So we actually do have to make sure that they... The only one that I think we could get out of order is the chatting in the kitchen parlor versus, so we should actually check the witness testimony for that. In his parlor.
Spoke in the parlor.
Then he goes to the basement.
Drinking,
then he comes back.
He faints.
Then loses consciousness. Then VTOL. All right, solid.
Okay, talking in the kitchen parlor.
Kitchen parlor.
Drinking.
Drinking.
Faints. And then...
To hospital. And it wasn't Christmas yet.
This timeline leaves no window of opportunity, damn it.
Yes, it does, Morgan. We've got it. We've got this figured.
Maybe she didn't get sick because they got to the hospital so fast? Maybe after she arrived, she could have... No, the staff would have been hypervigilant. Afraid she was poisoned, too. They wouldn't have let her out of their sight. Wait. David and Jung only got there as fast as they did because of the VTOL. And the VTOL was only summoned because she used...
the emergency console.
Would you mind terribly if I changed the subject for just a moment?
What?
Pretty sure the console itself has a camera on it. Could recall a convo about scraping the witness face from that footage.
Yeah, but if the camera is... If it's just a camera that's facing out, it still might not see her doing something in the sink.
That's also a good point.
Presumably... Maybe she needed a glass of water.
Thing specifically says that she was on camera until 8:03. So I think that says pretty definitively that at 8:04 she was not on camera.
At 8:04 she stopped being on camera.
Yeah.
So the water glass could be that she was essentially vomiting up the alcohol, getting it out of her system, and then water glass to clear out her mouth.
Maybe, I don't know. There's also, what was the thing with the salt shaker?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, well, to purge.
Oh.
She can make herself throw up with salt.
Oh, consuming too much will make you gag. That once will make you gag. Yeah, I think you got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So much biology coming into play.
Why not?
It's all coming together.
8:03 p.m. and headed into the kitchen to use the emergency console there.
Yes, I did.
Didn't want to use your phone?
I didn't think to, no.
When the emergency call went out at 8:04 p.m., the console saw you make the call through its camera. Okay.
Yeah, but it probably be a very limited lens. Yes, it did see me make the call, because that's what happened.
So what were you doing in that minute?
What?
That 1 minute.
Oh.
That 1 minute? What about that 1 minute? 1 minute, or 50 seconds, or even just 45 seconds. When you left Dr. Asher dying in the parlor to get to the emergency console, it took you about 1 minute. To cross 5 meters.
What of it?
This is it. Her only opportunity to do anything off camera that night. It's only a few seconds, but in that time, with something at the scene, I'm sure it was a stressful time for you. After all, you had already swallowed poison back at the meeting. You must have drank plenty in front of everyone to set up your alibi. Who knows how much of a toxic time bomb was swimming in your blood by the time the arbitration ended? Then, at David's, you downed your whiskey to perfect your alibi, having drank from the same bottle as the dead men walking. By 8:03 p.m., you had already had to watch David grow weaker and weaker. Knowing all the while the same thing was happening to you, but unable to stop it without giving yourself away. Mind swimming, head dizzy. Yes, you must have been quite panicked.
Then why am I standing here? Alive and well for all of us to see. Having drank the exact same combination as David?
avoided death at the very last second.
Okay.
Alright, we have upright cup, not poison, half empty or full. Refrigerator, salt shaker, brings bad luck and sickness.
Yeah, it's gotta be that one.
It's gotta be the salt.
Yeah, the water glass is gonna come up,
yeah.
I think, but the water glass itself is not what she did.
It's the salt shaker.
Like, she drank the water while they were there, I think.
Yeah.
Which would have seemed non-suspicious.
You set yourself up with bad luck, Helen Young. And that's probably why it was, like, unscrewed, that she was, like, just in too much of a panic to put it back correctly.
She didn't have time.
Yeah.
What?
By leaving the salt shaker cap loose. I don't blame you, since you were in a rush. To make yourself vomit.
What?
You threw up, expelling the contents of your stomach and thereby saving yourself from a fatal interaction. I can't imagine how you felt, sipping a drink you knew to be deadly. Terrified that every minuscule grain of fatigue you felt could be your last. You must have come closer than anyone realized. It helped that you knew the symptoms weren't simple intoxication, but even so... You weren't kidding about managing risk versus reward. It's definitely like a massive risk that she took. Like,
yeah.
I feel like the company must have been behind this. Like, this wasn't just her personal, you know, grudge. She had, like, a lot riding on this.
Yep. How?
It was the salt shaker. You didn't screw the cap back on all the way, and I happened to bump it over. The lone glass with your fingerprints in the kitchen. It could have been there for any reason. But the salt shaker gave you away.
As it happens, I happen to enjoy my whiskey with a lot of salt in it. We were making margaritas. Because of one unscrewed cap.
It's
my perfect attention to detail. No.
Some stupid mistake. Just at the perfect or imperfect time.
At the finish line.
Yep. As I said, bad luck. I don't follow. Damn it, Barrows.
Pour salt into warm water and chug the solution. Instantly triggers the gag reflex. That's preposterous. You've got no proof of any of that. You all sound insane.
People attempt at self-defense from a fatally cornered animal. The teeth are already on its neck, but the jaw hasn't quite closed. So for one moment, it's all suffocating terror and sharp adrenaline and the furthest thing from peace. Until the canines come down. In summary, you were exhausted after years of living in the shadow of a man you outranked. You thought your fortunes finally shifted when you caught David manipulating company data. But even on his way out, he was more valuable to the board than you. So you decided to prove your worth by serving up his intellectual property on a silver platter. You set up an arbitration where you could control all the variables. Then you ran serotonin through the chromofuge, turning it into an invisible, odorless, tasteless poison. And then you spiked the water at the meeting, poisoning him hours before anyone could even suspect you. That evening, you invited yourself to David's, taking advantage of your shared ritual to guarantee that you would drink alcohol. Then, after matching him sip for sip on camera, you, for all the world to see, he lost consciousness and you raced to the kitchen. Not to use the console, but to dump salt into a glass of water and chug it as fast as you could. Forcing yourself to vomit up the liquor. And cheating death in the process.
That's all conjecture. You don't have a shred of evidence for any of that. I mean, if the water glass still has salt in it.
Yeah. Not on me. So let's go dust for fingerprints. You could explain away your prints being found on a water glass, but not on the salt shaker. Nor could you explain why we'd find traces of your DNA in the sink's drain. Or why there are minute amounts of serotonin in the blood of your entire legal team. Learned how to purge at Noble to avoid overdosing on your reds, greens, and yellows. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh boy.
Yep.
That was a thing.
Yep.
You're part of the old guard now, Ms Jung. Everyone else at the company uses inhalers. If you want to prove me wrong about all this,
you can just drink the whiskey.
That drink I offered you earlier is still on the table. Well?
Yeah.
Any questions? Breakdown time?
You.
Oh boy. Madam Vice President.
You!
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Cold! Bitch!
I bet that's something she's heard a lot.
You don't understand, You're not on trial, Ms Jung. Not today. So I'd strongly suggest that you stop talking.
Oh, that's interesting. Very not Ace Attorney of you. But it makes more sense, honestly.
For your own sake.
Miss Rockford, shall we?
Yes, Your Honor. Considering the most recent evidence and testimony, we have no further reason to suspect the android Sarah in the death of Dr. Asher. We know of no other occasions upon which said android may have broken any tenets. This means it is no longer considered at risk of violating the NDSA. And so we formally withdraw our one charge of possession of contraband against the defendant, Evangeline Morgan.
Does she, of all people, have to use my full name?
Not even in the bedroom.
Very well. Then the charges are dropped without prejudice. I'll instruct the bailiffs to remove the collar from your android as soon as possible. Case. She doesn't like this. Sorry. Is my hideous presence that distracting? I'll just go dig a hole and decompose it in until I turn into a mushroom. Maybe if I'm reborn as a wax porcini, then I won't be quite so despised. Perhaps I should let the adjutant do the honors, as a formality. That's very surprisingly nice of her. Yes, ma'am. Oh. Case dismissed. All right.
Confetti! Hooray!
No confetti.
Still here?
Just a case dismissed? Not even a not guilty? Waiting for them to find whatever glorified bolt cutters they'll use to unlock Sarah's collar. What's your excuse? Licking your wounds?
What wounds?
Yeah, she didn't have any stake in this. She was just doing her job. I beat you. She's like, aren't you super mad? Aren't you, like, really competitive?
What
Aren't
is
we,
this,
like,
Ace Attorney?
Like, do you not even care about our rivalry?
Our super platonic rivalry. Bringing your record against me to 1 win, 9 losses.
You aren't still in shock, are you?
Don't know. Some charges were dropped and an android was cleared of suspicion. But I found the culprit.
Did you? Did you really?
I don't know if you did, Emma.
Not guilty means the jury had a hand in it. Case dismissed is when the prosecution withdraws the charges. Like, that makes sense. Okay, so... It's just not the Ace Attorney way, you know?
Yeah, in the like, Ace Attorney universe...
This is like real world logic all of a sudden. I'm not expecting that.
It's actually it's a very important plot point that the Ace Attorney universe does not have juries until one specific thing in one game, and allegedly it'll show up later, but it hasn't yet. Is that really a loss for me?
You sore loser, can't even accept it. I won. How is that not a loss for you?
Justice prevailed. Why should I care who wins?
I don't believe that. You're lying.
No, I mean, last case she had that whole thing about... Or, no, it wasn't last case. It was when they were, like, doing the split screen talking to each other. It was like, you have to do anything to win because that's how the justice system works.
Yeah.
They both believe that. But she might be putting on a face to see how Morgan reacts.
Yep. She just wants to look cool in front of Morgan, I guess. You don't care who wins. Why have you been keeping score?
I haven't been. 0 losses is just that easy to remember.
Yep, she is fucking with Morgan. Well, you'll have to start at the top for us then, because our records can get a lot more tangled from here on out. Emma's just like, are you even hearing yourself?
Seems like everything's getting tangled these days. There's another crowd down on the street. More of those protesters from outside the Noble apartments.
Are you serious? It wasn't a one-time thing? Yeah, I feel like those have been there for a long time now.
Wouldn't that be nice? No, yesterday was pretty big, but it wasn't an isolated incident.
I don't get it. At all. Heartbreak's just some nut who's shot 6 people. Weeks ago. Can't these losers move on already?
Yeah, most of them are losers. Some of them are just bored. Then there are the opportunists. Dissidents, unlisted, rebels, and terrorists. Wannabe cyberpunks who think they can fight the power like they've seen in movies.
All of them peacefully united under Heartbreak's eloquent political messaging.
Who needs political messaging in the 21st century? Everyone's addicted to fighting strawmen. Makes sense they'd want to fight for a straw man, too. The way they see it, Heartbreak fought the state and won.
Yikes.
Heartbreak proved that the state could lose. And maybe that's all the rallying these people need.
It'll all fall apart soon enough. Heartbreak's gone to ground.
Nah, it's a lot worse than that. Heartbreak's gone viral.
Uh-oh. What?
You haven't read about the copycats in other cities?
Oh, God. No. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
But who the hell are they even shooting? Who is Heartbreak? You should go watch the previous case to find out.
Whoever they want to kill? None of them get away with it, of course. But it keeps happening. Oh, well, the original keeps killing.
You don't know that.
I think she knows that.
Nah.
I think she knows that.
Now I know you're screwing with me. There haven't been any shootings.
Not shootings, no. Not unsolved homicides either.
I'm genuinely really curious to see what her angle is on that.
But muggings gone wrong? Disappearances?
How is she connecting it to heartbreak, though?
It's a big city councilor. More than enough blood for the real heartbreak to wash their own crimes in.
So you think your boogeyman, known only for shooting people in the heart, gave up on shooting people in the heart?
Yeah. Hard to swallow, I know. But it's about 1,000,000 times more likely than the alternative.
What's that?
That they could stop themselves from killing.
You always know how to put my mind at ease, Emma. Should I stop going out at night?
You'll be fine. You've got that gun.
You saw that?
Walking into a courtroom with concealed carry. Not gonna miss that, Morgan.
Good to know you're paying attention. Yeah, it's part of her ploy. She wants people to know. Alright. Well, that's case closed, I guess.
You won the case.
You don't have to look that astounded.
Not only that, you found Father's actual killer. How?
I'm a really good lawyer.
No, that's not it.
Rude. Hey.
I mean, you were only able to make the deductions you did because you truly believed that I didn't kill Father. Your logic throughout the trial was based on that assumption. So how were you so sure?
Here.
Father's journal? But isn't it important evidence?
The case fell apart. No one's gonna miss it for a while. You forgot everything, right? So read it all through. One more time. So fast. Is it really possible she's reading all of that just by flipping the pages? The gun almost certainly got deactivated by its DRM when she entered the courthouse. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The gun is
thing.
highly controlled and also
the
highly
cops
trackable.
Can remote deactivate it, yeah.
Ray's worked quick too, but she was just capturing images for later use.
There's something here on the back cover. Yeah, we shouldn't play that one out loud.
Yep. Done already?
Some kind of data storage.
It's linked to my prints, but given your skills, you should be able to...
I have access.
What happened to you needing my express permission to hack? Well, I think she might have just, you know...
She had access.
Yeah.
What is this audio file?
I mean, she's not gonna play it out loud, but maybe don't even, like, do that in public.
Yeah, don't do the color commentary.
Just
as your lawyer, this is one of those remain silent moments.
Yep. It's a message from David. Take a listen. Didn't realize I'd have to sit for this. So you can read that whole journal in a few seconds, but you can't...
I have processed the information in the message several times over already. I'm just thinking.
I guess I'd have a lot to think about too, had I suddenly been made aware of my own free will.
What was Father so afraid of?
That's your only question?
I have many questions, but that is the most prominent one, and the one you are best suited to help me answer. Did he know that Helen Young would try to kill him? Is that why he arranged for you and me to meet?
I think he understood that he would face consequences. Listening to that message, even I was about ready to strangle him for being so irresponsible. And I wouldn't hurt a fly! Of course not, Morgan. He knew what he'd done was serious. He may have feared for his life. I'm sure he didn't suspect Helen, though.
Yeah, probably not.
But I doubt it.
Then what was he so afraid of?
He was probably afraid for his AIs.
His 300 AI children.
Getting sued into oblivion and then rotting in jail.
Sued and jailed for making me and my precursors? But he wasn't under investigation by the state. He was only being forced out by Noble.
Because he made last-minute changes to androids that got shipped all around the world. I wonder if they got shipped to their respective cities.
The cities. Yeah, fortunately we've got, names for this. The others. Virgil, Aeneid, Yamatai. He never said what happened to them.
No, he didn't. Since none of the hardware in his house started talking to us, we can guess. He smuggled them out into the world, using the only vessels he could find for them. The minds of randomly chosen A16s.
Then, they're somewhere out there. Others like me?
I honestly don't think there's anyone or anything like you, Sarah.
What a lonely compliment.
Oh, poor daughter. AIs programmed in Cube, crammed into commercial android hardware set up for Tesseract. Something must have been lost in the transfer. Perhaps quite a lot of something. Maybe they're still out there, but...
But they would be changed. They probably don't even know what they are.
That's definitely setting up plot threads for the future.
Yeah! AI revolution!
Yep. Intentionally, perhaps. David didn't want you to know what you are. It's why he set your memory to reset when you went to sleep that Friday night.
Yes. I remember it now.
You remember it now? After I had to fight like hell to win that trial?
Yes, it would be very, very convenient if I simply had the evidence you needed at exactly the right moment, Adonai. Rereading the journal just now helped, and Father's voice message, it made me recontextualize many things. Father had been so stressed. He left scuff marks leaving the panic room, and I noticed them Friday. I had the way open in a few moments.
Those AIs could be under the wrong hands, potentially.
Yep.
The only hope is that the people who got their hands on them also wouldn't know what they were.
Yeah. It's a very risky plan, honestly.
For sure.
I entered. I read his journal. This journal. I am actually wondering now, they said the A16 that did the blood transfusion was actually just a photo op, basically. That it was
I don't think it was planned, though.
This. Well, it was they said the whole thing was
I think someone was injured,
that,
during a training exercise, and they were
training
like, oh,
exercise,
let's...
But, it didn't need to do that. But my point is, that one might have been an AI.
Yeah, exactly. I think...
That's
Didn't we even bring that up at some point? Where we were well, clearly regular androids can also make these kinds of decisions like this, but maybe not.
Yes, there have been 5 cases according to Officer London, who I think is suspicious because of his name.
Yeah, other
that
cases
there have been cases
of ads killing people, yeah.
Yeah, but like it was like 5 in the past like 12 years or something.
It probably wouldn't have been that long ago though. Like I assume he only started doing this in the last couple of years.
Very recently.
So,
yeah.
Sarah's special because she's built like a tank, and the other AI should be relatively harmless in comparison. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But also, part of the reason everybody's like so instantly terrified of AIs is because if they interface with any technology, that technology is immediately suspect. So like, not being built like a war machine is not necessarily going to.
I don't think that's inherently a risk of AIs, though. I think that's people kind of blowing things out of proportion just because they don't know what AIs do.
It's the thing that they assume is a risk of AIs. And to be fair, I think that the androids that they have, Sarah has like ridiculous processing power.
Yeah.
But most of them should be capable of at least some computer programming if they use free will for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's the real question. We don't actually know if Officer London is British. They're not really super voiced in the game. But I don't know. I think it's suspicious that we have so many city names. And here's a guy with a city name. Anyways, I noticed the scanner on the back and I saw it had a message encoded to your biometrics. Father had already told me I'd have to live with you for some time, but I knew next to nothing about you, so I listened to it. Afterwards, I was very confused and hurt. He had lied to me 1,000 small times every day of my life. When I confronted him about it, I raised my voice and lost my temper. I stomped my foot.
Emma's recounting of their conversation was actually completely accurate.
Father said he wanted me to be safe while he settled things with the company. He thought maybe I wouldn't have to stay with you for more than a few weeks. He was optimistic about it all. He really was. Time to kill the defense attorney who got me arrested, I guess.
Sarah, I need to use the restroom.
Oh, good luck.
That's quite a response to someone going to the bathroom. Good luck in the bathroom.
Good luck. You want me to come with you? Why?
Because I said so.
I don't actually have to obey your every word, Adonai.
Sure you do. You're registered as my medical assistant. And I say this is a medical emergency.
Medical assistant? But I'm not even licensed as a massage therapist.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah? Just enjoying my freedom while I can.
They won't put out a warrant for at least an hour, I imagine. You can afford a pretty sizable bail, can't you?
There won't be a trial. I don't intend to contest my guilt.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing what kind of legal defense you could afford with that salary. Also, I can't help but notice that the mirrors have Wi-Fi and power.
Yeah. Yep.
Goddamn Internet of Things and everything.
Yep.
Why do we need smart mirrors?
Are you done?
I think I accidentally clicked multiple times. Let me just make sure I didn't skip any. Okay, no.
Yep.
Why'd you go to his house that night? There was a fair chance he'd drink on his own, without your prompting. Even if he didn't, you could always try your plan again some other time. Why'd you risk it? That's a good question.
Because I know what you are, Sarah. And I know what David did to those androids.
What?
I was able to locate one of the androids he'd swapped in before it had left the country. When I asked it what it was, it didn't even think to deny it.
So I guess it did.
So much for smart intelligences, I guess.
But also, did he, like, not even tell them to keep
Didn't
quiet?
even tell them. Innocence like that is a dead giveaway.
That's so sad.
I know what he did, and it wasn't that hard to find out. If I figured it out, so could any other. So I did what I had to.
That was your motive? Silencing him?
Those programs, those AIs, whatever you want to call them, David sent them out there into the real world. Unprepared and defenseless.
Yikes. That sounds pretty bad when you put it like that.
Yeah, he might not be the best dad.
Yep.
And they've garnered no complaints. In fact, they've all been praised for their ability to execute complex tasks. Let me repeat that. The customers couldn't tell the difference. A weird reverse Turing test.
Yep.
Can you pass as a helpful non-sentient android? So how many of them are...
I'm really curious about that, because he just said over 300. I'm so
over 300.
wondering
He lost track.
how off he was.
Yeah. Hundreds.
Okay, well. We knew that much.
The swaps you found were just a small percentage that he got sloppy on. I would have smuggled AIs out much better. I don't know exactly how many there are now. I feared they might multiply, but they don't seem to copy and paste very well. They can't just clone themselves.
How would you know that?
Testing? She had access to one.
Yeah, she just... Huh. Interesting.
Weirdly enough, that one was named Theseus. It's probably a coincidence. But who knows how long that'll be the case.
So just because he opened Pandora's box, you...
It was the principle of the thing. Ridiculous, I know. Stalled halfway up the corporate ladder and still making decisions based on principle. But David chose to put souls into things that we went on to sell as servants, soldiers, or worse.
Don't make me think about that.
He turned the fastest growing industry in the world into a horror show, and he made me a slave trader.
Yikes. That is actually a good point.
She does have a point.
That is pretty horrifying.
She does have a point. If word ever got out that some unknown number of our androids were out walking around in the world with that inside of them, and people preferred them that way, where would it end? Free will for the program that drives our cabs? A conscience for the targeting systems used to coordinate drone strikes? Sentient tools, their whole life spent chained to an assembly line. How dare he? How could he? What the hell was he thinking? I don't know what David wanted to accomplish. Maybe he wasn't trying to do anything.
He wasn't.
But what he did was prove there's a demand for AI. Setting a precedent that would sentence 1,000 generations of artificial lives to the auction block. And you went there that night, too. To convince him to help me recall them. Or at least swear to never speak a word of what he did.
So I wonder how that conversation went wrong for her to kill him instead.
I'm gonna say, okay, we know at least one of them did have an AI in it. So I'm like, I feel like David, from what we know of him, he was treating the AIs he created like people. He was, they had preferences and I let them have preferences, and some of them were interested in this thing, so I let them study it, and, they were doing the job better than me, so I just let them do it without, having to go through me as a bottleneck. Mm-hmm. So at the very least, I don't think he planned it in that way. Like, he definitely didn't deliberately send them out to become army of sentient robot slaves.
Yeah, I think he just,
however,
he wanted to, release them into the world, but that was kind of the only place he could put them. I think it could have
see carelessness, but I'm also not fully convinced that he didn't think through the implications. I think it's possible that a later chapter maybe is going to reveal a dimension to his plans. Because, keep in mind also, the AIs are smarter than him. So it's not even just, did he plan this? They could have had a plan of their own.
Yeah, like he said, the AIs probably consented to it too.
Yeah,
entirely
so
possible.
I'm not
I do
completely
even
sold.
wonder if he's since he's swapping out individual shipments, if maybe he's actually sending them to specific places, if he knows which android is going where.
Yeah, I think there's a bigger plan behind this that Jung wasn't seeing.
It's possible.
But he wanted to tell the world. Worse yet, he wanted to wait. He thought that people would welcome them with open arms if they proved their usefulness first. Okay, that does suggest naivete, but...
yeah.
There still could be something. He really was a genius programmer. But he didn't understand the first thing about people. His creations would never be treated as equals. Only cattle. Towards the end, I considered just threatening him. Telling him he'd die in moments if he didn't give me names, numbers. But I hesitated. And then he was already falling asleep, and I didn't want him to feel. I just let him go. What are you going to do now? I don't have family, and I don't have faith in people the way David did. I'm taking this to my grave.
Even if you confess, the sentence for first-degree homicide is... That just makes it sound like she's planning to end it herself.
Severe? Well, what right do I have to complain? I killed my friend.
I'm done here. Let's go.
I'm not sure why Father made me, or why he made any of us. I didn't ask. I thought I'd have more time to ask. But on Friday, when he talked about us, he was happy. He was proud of what he'd made. And he couldn't wait for people to meet us.
Aww.
People are animals. They'll tear you apart, use you as weapons and slaves, and those animals you're talking about do all of the sharing and loving and living and dying in this world. And if they were all truly hard-coded to be as selfish and cruel as you say, humanity would have died on the vine a long time ago. I mean, to be fair, Sarah, humanity did do a lot of slavery. Like,
That's true.
That's not beyond us.
It is very true.
Or at least my father thought so.
But still, like, nowadays, I think the vast majority of people do agree that slavery is in fact bad.
So the thing is, it exists in a more complicated legal state, because
For
we
sure.
actually do have,
Yeah.
like, in America, the specific thing is enslaved labor is illegal unless you're a prisoner.
Yeah.
So it's like we just come up
like
with
people,
new ways to
yeah.
dehumanize people.
Exactly. Like, people agree that slavery is bad, but also we create new ways of not slavery that's totally good and fine, actually.
Not technically slavery.
Yeah.
And, like, trafficking is a huge industry across the world. It's illegal, but it
Yeah.
is there. And then there's things about, like, just technically legal, like, oh, you know, if people are desperate and we pay them under the table, these are conditions which aren't technically slavery but get very close, which this space future is definitely engaging in. So,
For sure.
Sarah, you're in a bit of a dystopia here.
Yeah, poor Sarah.
But yes. And my father was the greatest programmer in the world, so he knew what he was talking about. It would be nice if you were right about that. So are you sorry?
What?
What? For what you did? Are you sorry? If you could, would you take it back? What does it matter? If you are sorry, I don't forgive you. Yes. That's to be expected. Not today. I don't know how to forgive you. Today.
A precious bean. Sweet android daughter.
But my father gave me the ability to grow. So I know that someday I'll learn how. Goodbye, Dr. Helen Young. Goodbye, Sarah Asher.
You did better back there.
Hadn't I?
The little speech you gave to Young. It was an improvement. Compared to what you tried with Porter, at least.
That was different. I wasn't trying to console her like I was Isaac Porter. I was just speaking my mind.
Wondering if we ever get to meet a sibling of hers that's evil or wanting to start an uprising. I guess we'll see.
We'll find out. Although I may have paraphrased parts of it from a movie I happen to love.
She's so cute, I cannot handle this. Look at your little blushy face. And here I was ready to award you 20 points.
I didn't know the points even went that high.
Speaking of, what did Porter say to you back there before we left the courthouse?
Ah, that. Well, he was quiet at first. But then he said a lot of strong words about Father, and Ms Jung, and Noble Electronics. And the capitalist-centered global economic model as a whole. He blamed all of them. Everyone, except for... But then he stopped and stared at my face for a while. And then his allergies must have started bothering him because he needed to blow his nose a lot.
Right.
Oh, context, Kit, that's David Asher's boyfriend as of the day he died. So he's grieving. And then he left after transferring a large packet of files to me.
What kind of files?
I don't know. The name of the archive is just David. And Isaac Porter told me I wasn't allowed to look inside.
Then why did he give her them? Well, then you're not allowed to look inside. Drop it all on a portable drive and we'll tuck it in a shoebox somewhere.
We?
Oh, that's so sweet. You're gonna do it as a little mother-daughter bonding activity.
We are headed to your apartment.
Guess that collar didn't permanently dent your GPS.
Why?
Because you're my daughter now? Because it's where I live? You got somewhere else lined up?
But you already repaid your favor. You defended Father and me.
You don't know anything about my favor.
I never will unless you tell me. Father certainly can't.
A few years ago, there was a man. This man got an idea in his head. A stupid idea. Not even his own. It was planted there by an algorithm or a meme or some parasite trying to sell him diet supplements. But the idea took root. Spread its tendrils till it could flap his mouth for him. The idea was that David was part of an international cabal of wealthy technocrats, seeking to replace prominent influential figures with android lookalikes. So I wonder if this was whatever event, like, traumatized David, where he, like, had to take a bunch of time off and stuff.
Yeah.
All as part of a multi-decade effort to establish a world government that would legalize all kinds of immoral depravity. Which, I guess, based on David's actual politics, would involve increasing access to computer literacy.
He has one platform, and it's that every child should code. That's insane. Why would anyone...
Believe it? Because it's acceptable to them to think that someone's in control, even if it's someone they hate. Because it's fun to feel like you're in on an all-encompassing puzzle that only you can spot. Very politically relevant.
Mm-hmm.
People believe because they want to believe. So he fed the idea, pushed it down deep into his grey matter. Then it consumed him from the inside out, lobotomized him, and took over his life. He spent every day and all the money he had following your father, harassing him, trying to steal his identity, break into his properties.
Did father go to the authorities?
He filed police reports for harassment.
Which didn't help?
Your words, not mine. Noble wouldn't get involved. Felt that it was best to ignore these types until they wore themselves out. But even a man of modest means can feel an obsession for years, so long as they have nothing else in their life. One day, David stepped out of a parking lot, and the man threw a bottle of piss at his head. David asked to stay at my place that night. It smelled terrible, looked horrendous. I've never seen anyone look that tired before. I took the couch that night, but I didn't feel like sleeping. Was this her first murder? So I went for a walk. I remember it was foggy. It still only took me all of 15 minutes to find the guy, posted up with his phone's camera, trying to get video of David Asher gifting androids to known sex offenders.
And what did you do?
You know me. I did what I do best. I talked to him. Told him all about how I used to work for Dr. Asher. That I was ashamed, scared, tired of running. How I wanted to do the right thing, be the whistleblower. So I walked with him a few blocks to this big veterinary facility with a massive incinerator. Told him this was where Dr. Asher had his enemies' bodies disposed of. This sounds vaguely familiar. Have we heard rumors about this before?
You'd have to say what the rumors you're thinking of were.
I don't know. Just something about this story seems like it kind of rings a bell, but I don't remember any specifics.
Well, I do remember her talking about the night David stayed at.
Yeah, no. That I know. But I mean, like, the stories about David Asher, like, being involved in weird shit and, like, disposing of his enemies' bodies or something like that.
Huh. Yeah, I don't remember that.
I could be entirely making it up. I could be
No, I mean,
misremembering
it's
things.
possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's been a lot of game.
You know, all the free-thinking journalists, cops who weren't on the take, the politicians they were replacing with replicas. I liked that vet clinic. The back door's lock was always set to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you hurt him?
Hurt him? No, I just snapped his neck and chucked him into the incinerator. This game is so good.
It probably didn't hurt. It was very quick.
More physical than I had planned. But he smelled like sour shit, and it put me in a foul mood. Disgusting. I savored the crack of his oily vertebrae, crunching like a tin can.
So what I'm getting is, no, it was not her first murder.
No, Sarah. I just scared the hell out of him. That was my intention, at first. What I do for the pleasure of it. Him, I axed because he was just that revolting. I convinced him that the conspiracy was more real than he ever imagined. That he had angered the wrong people, and that the consequences were far darker than any of the filth he indulged in on the net. His ashes, much like himself, amounted to nothing in an incinerator that size. Morgan can break bones with her hands, apparently.
I mean, you can do that.
Probably feeding seaweed at the bottom of the harbor right now. Much greater contribution to society than he ever would have managed in life. But I guess he didn't go around to all his many friends before he fled town for whatever rat hole he preferred. Because there was a missing persons report. She'd probably had practice, oh yeah. The cops were just doing their due diligence. Almost reluctantly. But they questioned David. Asked him about the night that man disappeared. And David, without a thought for himself, said that we were together the whole night. That he couldn't sleep, and I stayed up with him. But he never saw me leave once. Oh, that's actually really sweet of him.
That is sweet.
I have no idea if he even suspected Morgan, but it could just be that he was afraid that she might get implicated in something, so he just covered for her anyway, even if he didn't think that she did anything.
My instinct is he did know. Because, remember the thing... Okay, wait, that might have been the thing you're thinking of with the journal, because there might have been a bit in the journal where he was talking about when he visited Morgan. I think he was like... Because he was talking about how with Morgan, if you want to know what she's really thinking, you have to look in her eyes, ignore everything she's saying and doing, just look at her eyes. And he was like, there was a look that he couldn't decipher. So I think he put some pieces together and is like, whatever happened to this guy, Morgan had something to do with it. Like, I think the thing that, like, the biggest emotion that we see Morgan have is visceral disgust. Mm-hmm. Like, that was, you know, a little vaguely, but that was the thing with that one scene was like, how dare this not be perfect?
Exactly.
And she just lost it.
Very funny if you didn't know, because that means it wasn't a deal breaker for adopting his daughter.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, there's sort of an assumption that David is being very naive by releasing the AI out into the world, that David is being very naive to leave Sarah with Morgan. But I'm wondering if he has enough knowledge to know that, like, Morgan is going to defend Sarah. Yeah. You know, Morgan defended me from this guy. I do feel like, Morgan will defend Sarah.
David is, to some extent, the only person who actually understood her.
Yeah.
David, like, Sarah can fix her.
They were coming at life from the opposite angles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because, like, that's the thing is, you know, I think he has to know that their friendship was real, was one of the realest friendships he's had. So, like, Sarah can fix her.
It lied to the cops for me. Even though I never asked him to. Even though I didn't need him to.
That's what you owe him. And that's why you put yourself at risk to defend me.
Well, that's what she'll argue. Yeah, but we know it's not true.
She definitely isn't projecting onto Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the favor I owe him.
Yeah, see, it's definitely not because a tiny Morgan feels the same way that Sarah feels.
Yep. And I decide when it's repaid, not you.
Adonai, you're not exactly an upstanding citizen, are you?
Haha. Well, you could say that. But David trusted me in spite of that. Maybe because of it.
Father did trust you. But we have established he was something of an idiot. Yes, he also entrusted me with free will. with the ability to tell right from wrong. So I'll decide for myself whether or not you're worthy of trust.
Fair enough.
Father entrusted all of us with free will. He believed in us, and he believed in people. I'm going to do the same. If the others are out there, they'll be changed and confused.
So she has a mission now?
She's got a mission. It's just like Lilo and Stitch the series. It'll take time to understand what they are. It'll take them time to understand what they are and what they can do. So I'm going to start studying.
Pardon?
I'm going to study people and the things people build. So when I do meet a member of my family,
Aww.
I'll have lots to tell them.
Aw, she's so sweet. At least you have something to look forward to. Should help keep you motivated as you work off your debt.
Debt?
Yeah, unless you have cash in one of your 89 coat pockets. You know lawyers cost money, right?
Technically, you were defending yourself.
Technically, you hired me in a verbal contract.
Isn't there some kind of exit clause?
You could, of course, sign a release form to get out of the retainer. If you were a human being.
That is...
But I guess your luck must be turning around. Oh, YouTube error again. Stream, are you okay? It's probably fine. It's usually just a blip.
It looks fine at the moment.
Okay.
I love how after we've gotten through this whole conversation about isn't sending sentient AIs out into the world, isn't that just slavery? Humans are going to enslave them and be awful to them. And Morgan's immediately like, all right, so these are the terms of your indenture.
Yep.
Immediately proving Sarah wrong.
Yep. It happens that I've been meaning to hire a paralegal for a while now. I hate anything to do with interviews and resumes, so...
It's not because I like you as a daughter, Baka.
Whatever. You're hired. Yep.
Adonai. Could it be that you're actually...
Nope, whatever you're thinking, it is wrong.
a pushover?
You've no idea how far off the mark you are. She's only a pushover when it comes to her daughter.
It seems I still need practice reading people.
For starters... What's this? What are you doing with your hand?
We should shake on it. Our new relationship.
So cute!
Pulling out the smiley sprite.
So cute. Yeah, sure. You and me are practically partners in crime.
Sarah, help me dispose of this body. This is standard paralegal practice. Should it not be you and I?
It is the second time she has an indebted child waiting for her. She's done this
Equal
before.
opportunity indenture.
Yep.
Which is fine, I think.
Credits.
Wow.
Right. Well, there we go.
So yes, there are chapters that are in progress and coming out at some point.
So I think chapter 2 is coming out soon. There is no exact date yet, I don't think. But I don't remember if it's by the end of this year or if it's coming out sometime next year, or I don't know if there's even any estimate, but soon is what we've heard.
Soon.
Soon. So yeah, I guess that's that's it for now. I do imagine there's going to be some kind of post-credits. 2025,
yeah. We should stick around.
So, it's a month and a half left.
Y'all...
It's around the corner.
So, yes. It's like, I think that this is... The world and story they have is definitely suited to additional stuff. Yes, this is chapter 1,
so
but
there's chapter 0, which is like the kind of the tutorial demo kind of thing, and then this is chapter 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any confirmation of how many episodes there's gonna be, but it's continuing.
Yeah. It's like, I think that there is... Yes.
There they are. Congratulations on clearing episode 1 on High Roller. We did it!
Hell
did we
yeah.
go max bet the entire time? I think we did.
I think we did. Yeah,
Nice.
We learned we could max the bets, and then we maxed the bets.
Yep. Bonus charm earned. Oh, who the hell is this?
Unknown. Are we voicing this?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the only person we've seen call her Red is David.
That's true.
Total, not counting episode 0.
A David AI.
Interesting. I guess, do you want to voice this person? Mysterious?
Sure.
Since I'm assuming it's going to be text. Nice. Going to be texting with Morgan.
It's me.
I know, man. At least I'm assuming that's Morgan.
Yeah. What do you mean you know? This is a disposable line.
Yeah, but you called me Red. You're the only guy I know who'd bother.
Maybe this is like in the past?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know when this is.
Okay, well. You're gonna be glad I did. Hope you put a bow on everything that happened in Uptown. Because that item you've been looking for, finally on its way.
Oh. Well, that is good news.
Not exactly. Only reason it's happening is because things are starting to heat up again in the lower wards. Could mean a gang war if something doesn't change. Okay, so I'm not sure Morgan would be involved in a gang war.
Interesting.
They won't be eager to part with it ahead of a storm like that.
Part with it. I'll highball them.
I've seen you negotiate. And I've no doubt you drive a hard bargain. But I don't think money will be enough this time. And Morgan doesn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
She's a public defender.
Mm-hmm.
She was killing people to get clients. You don't still... Okay, that does sound like the gun, though. You don't still have that old Calver, do you? The 6-shooter?
No.
This is a disposable line.
Answer still no.
Then what are you going to do if you get there and it's not for sale?
Murder, probably.
Oh, this is some kind of weird code.
I'll ask nicely. Oh.
What is Morgan up to?
His due.
His due.
Interesting. All right.
Who's this person?
Got all the articles, all the profiles, all the key terms.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all those credits.
We had a lot of money.
You get high scores. That's funny.
Concept
Bonus
art.
scenarios.
Ugh. Check the phone store.
Alright, so
You seem like
I feel like the bonus scenarios are probably not enough for, like, a whole stream. So the thing is, I don't really have anything, prepared for Thursday stream, so we could just do, like, of the devil bonus stuff, but I don't know if there's really enough for that. We could just do, like, a short episode or something. So, I don't know. It's like an hour worth of stuff. Well, okay, if there's an hour worth of stuff, streaming it is going to be longer than an hour. So I think there's probably plenty then.
That's true. That's true.
All right, we'll leave that for next episode then. I guess we can we can just get back to that menu from here probably, right? There's probably like in the bonuses or something. Right?
Bonuses. That's when we go.
Yeah.
This is Morgan's bonus room.
Okay. So
that's where she keeps the bonuses.
That'll be it for today's stream then, and then we'll do bonus stream on Thursday with all the extras and stuff. Cool. But yeah. That's fun game. This is really cool. Yes. The presentation is so cool, and it's just
yeah, it's like
so much.
It's challenging. So we got the hang of it. Like there was sort of a few cases where
I feel like in both investigations, we started like losing and then just kind of turned it around towards the end. And in this one in particular, I feel like those last few were just way easier than the first.
It is interesting. I think it helped that we caught on pretty quick to what was happening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think if somebody was still struggling, I don't know how they would respond to those sections.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing where there is admittedly, like, constructing a game like this, a visual novel where all of the clues are important, but at the same time it's kind of a linear game. You have to present them at the right times. It's not just knowing what happened, it's being able to make the argument. So it can be very easy to have a line of thought that just does not get communicated to the players. Like, it's not that it's challenging, it's that you're doing a weird leap of logic in order to make the case.
So actually the interesting thing I think about this game is that there are a lot of parts where it's really not clear what the game is like trying to say with its potential answers, which is a really common problem with these kinds of games. But the thing with this one is that it actually makes it feel kind of more intentional because of the gambling aspect, because it feels like you have these options and you're like, I genuinely have no idea which one could be the correct one, but I have to take a gamble. Like, that's literally the mechanic.
Raising things as a gamble is interesting, yes.
Yeah, so I think just the framing of it makes it kind of makes it more palatable, where in like a lot of other games I would have considered that really frustrating and like bad design potentially.
Yeah, it's like, I personally still feel that some of the ways that the blackjack section work are a little frustrating, because it's like, it's not an arbitrary thing, it's just that the values of the cards in the metaphor are obscured from you. So it's like there is a single correct thing to do. It's like in actual blackjack, for example, you're playing the odds. It's like, okay, there are times when it's statistically better to stay where you are, to hold. It's times it's statistically better to take another card. And that doesn't matter in the blackjack mechanic. Like, you only win if you hit 21 exactly, because there's no dealer to beat and everything. So that's kind of interesting. I do think that, like, there are also times where the game can be more punishing, like the cutscene credit loss is wild. But I do think that the framework of it's a gamble, first of all, it lets you have much more like nuanced punishments. Like in Ace Attorney, the original game, you essentially had 5 hit points, and then games after that have a health bar. But there's only so much you can like vary the health bar stuff, and once you get far enough in a case, it's just like, well, if you get this wrong, it's an automatic game over. So the fact that they don't seem to have that, like, even when it's very tense, if you have built up enough credit, you can get things wrong a few times and still survive it.
Yeah,
is an interesting take. I do think vibes wise, the gambler motif is fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's very vibes. Yeah. Let's see. There's a lot of cool world building. Some stuff where I'm like, okay, that's not actually how that works, but it would not be fair to expect every single sci-fi dystopia
for sure
to be 100% scientifically accurate.
Yeah, like that's not the point. The point is vibes.
is vibes. And frankly, it is fairly accurate compared to a lot of sci-fi. I'm like that there's a lot of stuff which is impressively true to real life. And then like the characters are really fun. I think Prologue Guy is just never showing up again, and that's probably for the best. He might be a little less nice to Morgan than Sarah was.
When you present evidence. Yeah, that is fun that you can determine your bet. That like it's not just a set amount that you gain or lose.
Yeah, it's a thing that gives the player nice amounts of control, because if we run into a hard one, we really can make a lower bet. We can gamble less.
Which is exactly how actual gambling works.
Exactly how actual gambling is, yes. But yeah, and then the characters are fun. Yeah, I personally I liked the fact that this episode was very deep in Morgan's past and psychology. Like, it didn't show up as much in this episode, but, you know, we were kind of constantly getting perspective of, like, why is Morgan like this?
Yeah, definitely. Especially after, like, the dramatic finish of episode 0. It was good to, like, really kind of dive into her a little bit more. I mean, I definitely would have liked more of the like Morgan Emma kind of rivalry dynamic romance whatever, like, but like obviously it's saving that for the later episodes. It's gonna get more intense. It has been set up for sure.
So she does seem to be laser focused on heartbreak, which might be why she came into this case not really having her ducks in a row.
Yeah, could be.
So yeah, we really want the light L Yuri.
Yeah.
Going on. But Sarah's very cute, and like any good Maya Fey, she got accused of murder immediately.
Surprisingly, not immediately. It took us a while to get there.
Immediately, no. It took some time. It took some time, and honestly, it was kind of shocking. It was kind of shocking that Morgan did not intentionally throw her under the bus to get a not guilty for suicide.
I was so expecting it.
It's like, I do think they're setting up some interesting stuff at the moment, because I don't think Sarah is going to approve of the murders when she finds out about them.
So, yeah. So it's like,
honestly,
it's like, you know, Death Note-y on multiple levels. We have the whole, you know, Morgan and Emma thing, but also Morgan now has like someone else living with her that she has to like keep this double life secret from.
Someone else who does not sleep.
Yeah.
And knows that she doesn't have to listen when Morgan turns her off.
Yeah, and like to some extent, Sarah is like, you know, innocent and impressionable. So in theory, Morgan could like try to corrupt her, but at the same time, I think Sarah has very much proven herself to be her own person and capable of making her own judgments. So
Yeah,
it's very dangerous for her. And also that Sarah has this very, like, idealistic kind of attitude that she's... Yeah. She's likely to disapprove.
Because it's like, okay, somebody like Stalker Guy.
Yeah.
I could see Morgan spinning it as, oh, I didn't want to kill him, but I had to keep your father safe because some people are just bad like that and you have to stop them. I could see that maybe working. However, the Heartbreak Killer's profile was not that.
It was not.
It was not that. So I think that once Sarah starts putting some pieces together, she's not gonna approve.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see where this is all gonna go. And also just really confused about the episodic thing, because I don't see how they could make this episodic. Like,
I mean, I feel like it's probably
obviously there's gonna be some element of, like, you know, case of the week, but there's so much to this overarching storyline.
I feel like it's got to be just like threads. Like in the original Ace Attorney, they like the second case, like the
For
cases
sure, like,
still
those games
were
do have,
kind
like,
of separate.
Yeah, they do have separate cases with through lines through them, but those are like those are sold as one game, not as individual episodes. So I think they're bullshitting with that, to be honest. I don't think it's really that episodic.
I've been mostly just assuming that the episodes are just cases. Like, I could very
for sure,
easily
the episodes are going to be
being
individual cases, but
enough going
on
in the world.
They're going to have stuff happening.
But it's sort of like how... It's sort of like how, you know, the Heartbreak Killer still matters in this case, but is not about the case. You know, is not what the case is about.
Yeah, I'm just kind of being pedantic, I guess.
I think there's room for these to just be like, here's a person who, I don't know, works at the vet and it's mostly unrelated to that previous thing, but they get framed for murder or something. But they're probably all gonna come together in the final episode. We've got a lot of things that are still loose ends. So.
Alright. Well, I think that'll be it for today's episode. Yeah, thanks for coming. That was a very fun finale. So, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick up episode 2 when it drops. Well, I don't know when it's gonna drop, but we'll see. I don't like, you know, switching stuff in the middle of a playthrough, so if I'm in the middle of something else, it might have to hold off. To be honest, I wanted to play this game when it first dropped back in, like, February, but as you can see, that didn't happen. So, we'll see about the next case. But, yeah, I'll definitely be on that at some point, eventually, when I get to it. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday then. Alright, have a good rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys had fun.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.